And they could not even begin to describe the impact and the influence that you had over the past 35 years, not just in this building, but across the entire Allegheny Highlands. And we thank you for that. Now, I do have to point out, everyone, that your years of service here, the many decades you've had, is almost twice my age. And we so appreciate you. I can recall the first year that I was here when this was Covington High School. And I was working, and Gary Wayne, it didn't matter if he was on his way to clean up a school, if he was emptying the trash, if he was outside picking up the grass, every time you saw him, he had a positive attitude and a smile, and he would say, "Really, what are you doing?" All the time, Gary Wayne. And, you know, Gary Wayne never let that smile leave his face, but you could tell when something was awry, because Gary Wayne would come down the hall and instead of saying, "What are you doing, Lou?" he would say, "I don't know. I just don't know." But again, Gary Wayne, we appreciate your 45 years of service here. When I left from Covington High School and then came back up here through consolidation, I'll never forget the first thing Gary Wayne said to me. He cut this little smirk on his face and he said, "Welcome back." And it was a grand welcome. Gary Wayne, we're going to miss you. We appreciate all you've done. We can't thank you enough. We can give you a $100,000 check, and that still wouldn't match the compensation. And we don't have that, by the way. It's not, but that still wouldn't match what you deserve this morning. Hey, can we give it up for Gary Wayne again?
Gary Wayne has been in the school system 45 years. And 45 years ago, in 1980, right after he graduated from Covington High School, he was asked if he wanted the job as janitor of the school. And of course, he said no! What teenager would want the job of a janitor at the school that he went to? But without a plan in place for the days ahead, he was urged by his mentor, the assistant principal, Wilbur Lee, to take the job. And of course, the rest is history. Throughout his career, he became a person who is consistently loyal, punctual, calm in a crisis, and always confidential. Gary Wayne knows some things, but above all else, it's confidential, and he will keep it to himself. There are students who have considered suicide, and they thank him because he's been the friendly face that says good morning in the mornings. He's been the one who gives them high fives and fist bumps. In the hall, he lends an ear of encouragement. Gary completes a full day of work at school, and then he goes to games to support students or drives them to away games on the activity bus, or he assists the coaches on the sidelines of football games. Long before students and staff arrive at school, Gary is the one who's there, regulating the heat in the winter, shoveling the snow with his staff, and regulating the air conditioning in the summer before he cuts the lawn and meets his loyal staff to complete necessary tasks for the day. Gary Wayne is a simple man, and I love that about him. He's truly a gentleman, a father, a grandfather, an uncle, a brother, a friend, a loyal member of the Covington Word Camp, and a loyal deacon at his church. Gary Wayne is a powerful, praying man of God, as you can tell by the cap that he wears lately. And he is more than that to us. He is a 45-year retired veteran in the Allegheny County School System. Fun facts as I close, Gary has called in sick 2 times in 45 years. Yeah.
Next, we'd like to welcome the Woodsons to come speak this morning and say a few words about Gary Wayne. Let's make them welcome.
of y'all don't know who I am, so I'll take a little bit of your language and tell you. I'm the father of your principal, and I spent 28 years in this building as a coach, teacher, and administrator. You can't have a better friend than Gary Wayne Twitty. And he and I go way back to a lot of athletic events especially. But one more thing I want to tell you about my relationship with my daughter. She ain't gonna like this, but anyway. About 50 years ago, right outside this door right here, when she was about 3 or 4 years old at that time. Telling her age. But anyway, I gave her a spanking. I was a basketball coach at the time here, and her big brother got her into trouble because they left the premises while I was coaching. So I had to punish her. I think that's about the only time I ever had to spank her. I'm crazy about her. I'm real proud of her, really is. But this is Gary's day. Do you know what you're going to do from now on today? I got a few things for you. But anyway, if you ever watch the Andy Griffith show and watch the parts where they were trying to fire or get rid of Andy Griffith, because of what Barney said, you don't have a better friend than Sheriff Taylor. You don't have a better friend than Gary Wayne Twitty. I want to wish you the best, all right?
Listen, there's this phrase that, oh, Mr. Woodruff.
You know, one thing is that y'all who are.
Listen, your money was just given this large key and it says it's the key to retirement. But I'll tell you what, Gary, I think you can beat the walls as storytellers. So how about we hear from the man himself? Let's get to know him.
I just be built up like this. I want to say everybody in this building, thank all the friends. I want to thank them now. He always on my back. I took him up, and he took me up. I want to thank Jeff. I want to thank all my coaches I went to. There's been a lot of them. And I want to thank the student body. I want to thank all the teachers. I want to thank my beautiful girl, Terry. She on my back. I love her to death, and she knows it. That's right. And I'm going to miss it, but I ain't going to ride them back. They're saying, Kern will have me back. Kim will have me back. I'll work every day. I'm going to work every day. But I want to thank the school body, the whole faculty, the Alabama Southern School, the Covington. Thank you for this. I didn't know anything about it, and no more. And I just want to say thank you.
So he went to school here and was working here at night. So it's been closer to 50 years in building if you count his time here in high school. So that just doesn't happen anymore. To spend your career in one place and do such an amazing job at it. So thank you for your service to Covington City Public Schools, Allegheny Highlands Public Schools, Covington High School, Covington Middle School, and we're going to see about it. I think it's July 1st you're going to walk in, but thank you very much for your